yeah.
What's the worst thing that happened to you when you were doing
I impaled myself with a spike at a 16-year-old, 16th. Oh, what was it? No, it would have been, an 18th birthday party. It was a friend. It's like a trick where you get like 3 coasters. One of them's got a big spike in it, 3 paper cups. You mix it up, turn it around. Like the trick, the way it works, I won't say, but it's like really, really, really easy. But I don't know what happened.
You wanted to be a stand-up from very, very young.
Yeah.
You've always known, right?
Yeah.
So how old would you say you were?
When I wanted to do it.
Yeah,
like,
when you realised, like... Well, not when you realised, that's probably a question for a bit later, but like when did... Everyone maybe thinks they can be funny and stuff like that, but when did you... do you have any early memories of like writing down jokes?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I really did. Like, I think probably when I was 12, I was like trying to write jokes. But then I'm being stressed about like, I'm never going to be able to do these anywhere. So then I was a magician when I was 12 and I was like a really, really bad magician. But the takeaway from it was like, oh, you're really funny. So even though the tricks would go wrong or people would see how I would do them,
right?
The positive feedback was, oh, you're really funny. So I was like,
was this ever a job or was this a hobby?
Kind of. Well, it wasn't really a job. I was trying to do it as a job, but I was like such a bad businessman. Like I would like speak to the person on the phone that was booking me, and I'd be like, 12, 13, and they'd be like, how much is your fee? And I'd be like, it's up to you. What do you want to pay? And they'd be like, I don't know, like I can't really set it, like, you know. I'd be like, no, come on, you choose the price.
Yeah.
They'd be like, 20 quid. I'd be like, oh, that'd be lovely. Yeah. And then I'd spend 50 quid on tricks. You know what I mean? For that one gig. Yeah.
So what were you doing as a magician? Going into places and just performing?
So it started off as like kids parties. Then I'd do like I really wanted to be a stage magician, but it's like quite hard. So we do like our yearly talent show. I'd do like stage tricks there, but then as I got a bit older, I was trying to do like actual magicians that I tell this to are like, what the hell? Like I do like essentially corporates, yeah. So like I did like law society balls, weddings, stuff like that, which is just
as a 12-year-old.
Yeah, that was a bit more as like 15 and stuff.
Oh, right, okay. So you're playing this down. You were doing this for a long time.
Yeah,
part
6
of your
years.
Life.
Yeah.
So you must have been good then.
No, I was not.
You're doing the comedian self-deprecation.
No,
thing.
I was really bad.
How do you keep booking jobs if you're not good?
Because people just sort of like people just presume you're good. If you're like, oh yeah, I'm a magician, they're like, oh brilliant, come do this.
And
like, no one would say they could do that and be bad at it.
That's true.
And then you just trick yourself into, you're like, yeah, no, I'll be good at this one. And then you're there with like the bride and her granddad, like picking up cards.
No.
Like, yeah.
What's the worst thing that happened to you when you were doing
I impaled myself with a spike at a 16-year-old, 16th. Oh, what was it? No, it would have been, an 18th birthday party. It was a friend. It's like a trick where you get like 3 coasters. One of them's got a big spike in it, 3 paper cups. You mix it up, turn it around. Like the trick, the way it works, I won't say, but it's like really, really, really easy. But I don't know what happened. And just like, spike in my hand. Yeah.
Through the hand?
It didn't go through. But to be honest, I thought the spike was like, just like looked a lot sharper than it was. I thought it was like a bit of a trick, but no, it was sharp. But yeah. And then
how did you react? I want to picture this scene, Dan.
Mate, like, I have like that is the one thing I am good at. Like I can't really do card tricks, but when it comes to being impaled by a spike and like playing it off like it doesn't hurt, that was my strength as a magician. I was really good at that. I backed myself there. Yeah, that's worth the money alone. So paper cup like that, I went, oh dear. Then I've just picked up the paper cup in my hand and gone, we'll try that one again. And I've put my hand to the side and then I've gotten to reset it and done it again with my left hand.
And you got it right.
Yeah. Then the show finished and I came off thinking everyone would be like, oh, that was sick. And everyone was just like, what the fuck? Are you all right? Like,
the whole time the thing.
Yeah, I just got like a bleeding hand here. Yeah.
Oh
and then,
my God.
Yeah, so that's definitely the worst thing, I think.
How is that supposed to work? Or are you not allowed to say? Like,
I shouldn't really say, but yeah.
Were you part of the Magic Circle?
No, I was part of the Young Magic Circle, but it was all in London, so it just meant I got a magazine every month. Unless I'm missing something, I really don't think that's a big thing. I think it's a load of bollocks, really.
Yeah, we switched.
Yeah. But no, you shouldn't really say because there's someone who's like doing that trick or whatever.
But there must be how do you know? How do you find out the answers to these things? How do you know? I
think that I can tell you. I think that's why magicians are so reluctant to tell people how things are done, because anyone with any actual interest can just easily find the information out.
Or Google.
Just Google it. Yeah.
Right.
Or you buy a trick online and it just comes with an instruction thing. It's that simple. You buy it. People are like, I need to know how that's done. But then they're not that bothered.
Yeah.
Because they just Google it. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. When you watch magic now, for someone who did it for 6 years, do you know how most tricks are done now?
What's quite nice is now I have no desire to be a magician, really.
Yeah.
Although in Stomp, my current show, I do a magic trick at the end. So
do you?
Yeah, it's kind of like a big reveal. I do like a load of material about how bad of a magician I was.
Right.
And then the end out of nowhere ends with a magic trick. And like the first time I was doing it at Edinburgh, I was just like, I hate being a magician. Like, how am I back doing this again? Like, just remember there's like a big sleight of hand move, and like Steve Bennett from Chortle was just like in the show reviewing it. And I just remember him like leaning forwards to like look at my hands to see what I was doing. I was like, Dan, do stand up. You're not good at that.
Did you do it well though?
Did what?
Did you do the magic trick well?
Yeah, like the first time at Edinburgh when it was still a whip, it went completely wrong.
No.
And the card I was looking for, I found like on my kitchen floor in my accommodation like a week later. So I still don't know how it got there, but yeah, just went.
That's even more magic.
Yeah.
Have you ever performed magic to any sort of big well-known people?
Wow, when I was like, how old would I have been then? Like 15 or 6? Oh no, I was a bit older. I think that was right near the end actually. I would have been 18. And what would sometimes happen is even though I'd like quit or said I was done, someone would like, an old inquiry would ring and be like, oh, I've got a wedding. So I did this wedding and I was super rusty then. So it was like, I was really, really bad. And like, I just walked up to a table and you know when you hear a voice, and I really wanted to be a stand-up comedian. And basically John Richardson was just sat at the table, which at the time just completely knocked me.
Wow.
And
your mate?
Yeah, I did like the worst performance of this trick called the Invisible Deck ever. It was just like dreadful. And
what's the premise? Like, what's the premise of the trick?
And to like shuffle up an invisible deck of cards, turn one card upside down, and then that card is in like a box.
Right.
It is in. Then you make the deck come to life, and that card is upside down in the deck.
Okay.
So it's like a lot of magicians would be like, it's really hack. Like it's. That's why I was like, I was a bad magician in the sense that like if a magician watched me, they'd be like, oh, that trick selection is so shit. They're so easy to do. And then if someone who wasn't a magician would be like, yeah, they're easy. Then they can't be that easy because I saw how he did that whole thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like bad on 2 levels.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing that. And then I like cowered away because I was just like so embarrassed that like one of my favorite comedians had just seen me like as an awful magician. Then years later I met him.
Yeah.
And I said, I did, I was a magician, and he went, yeah, I was wearing this suit, and I was like, I was really bad. He was like, yeah, you were rubbish. And then just like completely remembered the whole thing. I was like, wow. What the hell? That's crazy.
Did you ever do like the traditional sort of like rabbit from a hat?
No, I didn't have an actual rabbit. No, I really wanted to do stuff like yeah, but you need to have a rabbit, and like not really very safe for the rabbit. Me doing that, I don't think. You know, rabbit would be like, oh, out of all the magicians, I've got him. Like, yeah. Come on, Dan, loosen up the grip a bit. Like, yeah.
Now, it's not just magic that you did before comedy. You were a dinner lady, man.
Yeah. Like, dinner lady. Yeah, I was
is that the correct term, dinner lady?
I don't know. I was a lunchtime supervisor.
Right.
Which just means you're like in the canteen. I wasn't like cooking or serving the food, but you do everything else. So you bring all the kids, like you clear the plates and stuff. Like if they won't eat their meals, you've got to like negotiate with them.
Have you?
Because the kitchen just really don't want to like give new meals because they've got like quotas.
Right.
Of like how many meals they can replace or whatever.
Yeah.
So you'd go and be like, can I get a new meal? Because they won't. And they'd be like, no, make them eat it. So then you'd be like, just try and negotiate. Like, I'll let you go and play. But what was that?
I was like, hand on the back of the neck.
Yeah.
Bring that kid to the plate.
Yeah. That is exactly. You sort of waterboard them into the mashed potato.
Into the pasta king.
They're really like
there's children starving.
They're really like tight on it. Like I've got a little boy, and whenever he goes to school, you have to pay for whatever they're having, and they've given him the wrong thing like 3 times because they're like, we've run out. And so, well, I've paid for a specific thing for them, and they won't let him have it.
How can they run out then? Because you pre-ordered.
I know, it's stupid.
What kind of stuff are they eating then? Because back in my day, you had like 3 options. Like, 5 options throughout the week, and that was what it was. You remember you got that horrible little bit of turkey slice thing, and is it still stuff like that then? Or?
No, it was more like what I remember is it was like a lot of my jacket potatoes.
Still jacket potatoes.
A lot of jacket potatoes. Nothing's got salt in it as well anymore, which is crazy.
What, they're not allowed?
So on Friday it's chips, but no salt on the chips.
So do you find kids like sort of dealing little sachets?
Little sachets, little clear baggies. Of